Welcome back to Parenting with Purpose. Today we're diving into a powerful psychological concept known as attachment theory. This theory explains how our early childhood relationships, particularly with our primary caregivers, can shape our lives well into adulthood, influencing everything from relationships to self-esteem and even how we handle stress. Whether you're curious about how your own childhood affected you or how you can support your child's healthy development, this video will give you insight into the long-lasting impact of early attachments. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell to stay updated on all our videos on parenting, psychology, and personal growth. Let's start by understanding what attachment theory is and why it's so impactful. Developed by psychologist John Bowlby in the mid-20th century and later expanded by Mary Ainsworth, attachment theory focuses on the deep emotional bond between a child and their primary caregiver, usually a parent. Bowlby's research showed that this bond isn't just about comfort or protection, it's foundational to a child's emotional development and affects how they relate to others throughout life. A child's attachment to their caregiver shapes their internal working model, a mental framework they carry into adulthood, influencing how they perceive relationships themselves and the world around them. In essence, our earliest bonds lay the groundwork for how we trust, communicate, and feel secure in our relationships. So, how exactly does this play out? Let's dive into the different types of attachment styles. There are 4 primary attachment styles identified in attachment theory: secure, anxious, avoidant, and disorganized. Each style develops based on the caregiver's consistency, responsiveness, and emotional availability. Let's go over each one. Secure attachment. Children with secure attachment feel safe and cared for. This happens when caregivers are consistently responsive to the child's needs, providing comfort and support. These children grow up with confidence in their relationships, knowing they can depend on others. Anxious attachment. This style often results from caregivers who are inconsistent in meeting the child's needs, sometimes being responsive, but other times unavailable. Children with anxious attachment may feel uncertain about whether their caregiver will be there, which can lead to clinginess and difficulty trusting relationships later in life. Avoidant attachment. When caregivers are emotionally distant or unresponsive, children may develop an avoidant attachment style. These children learn to be self-reliant and suppress their need for closeness. As adults, they may avoid intimacy and struggle to open up emotionally. Disorganized attachment. This style is typically seen in situations where caregivers are frightening, erratic, or abusive. Children with disorganized attachment may experience a mix of behaviors, seeking comfort but also feeling afraid of the caregiver. As adults, they often struggle with trust and may have intense, unstable relationships. These early attachment experiences lay the foundation for how we relate to others throughout life, shaping our approach to relationships, friendships, and even how we perceive ourselves. Well, let's take a closer look at secure attachment and how it serves as a strong foundation for a well-adjusted life. When a child grows up with a secure attachment, they feel safe, understood, and valued. This security allows them to explore the world with confidence, knowing that they have a reliable base to return to. As adults, securely attached individuals are typically able to form healthy, stable relationships. They trust others, communicate openly, and are comfortable both giving and receiving love and support. Securely attached adults also tend to have a healthy sense of self-worth, as their caregivers provided them with validation and encouragement during childhood. Fostering a secure attachment with your child doesn't mean being perfect. It means being consistently present, responsive, and attuned to their needs. Even if you make mistakes, showing up, apologizing when needed, and consistently providing love is what matters most. Now let's discuss anxious attachment. Children with anxious attachment often grow up feeling uncertain about whether their needs will be met, as their caregivers may have been inconsistent. This can lead to a preoccupation with relationships and a fear of being abandoned or unloved. As adults, individuals with anxious attachment may be overly dependent in relationships, seeking constant reassurance and fearing rejection. They may feel insecure in their relationships and worry about being too much or not enough for others. While anxious attachment can be challenging, it's not permanent. Therapy, self-awareness, and secure relationships can help individuals with anxious attachment patterns learn to feel more confident and secure. By acknowledging these tendencies, they can work toward healthier, more fulfilling connections. Let's move on to avoidant attachment. Children with avoidant attachment often grow up with caregivers who are emotionally distant or unresponsive. To cope, they learn to be independent, suppressing their need for closeness to avoid potential rejection or disappointment. As adults, individuals with avoidant attachment may have difficulty forming close bonds. They may be reluctant to trust others, fearing that opening up will make them vulnerable. While they can come across as self-sufficient, this independence often masks a fear of emotional intimacy. Understanding avoidant attachment can help individuals recognize their own tendencies and work toward opening up emotionally. Building trust and allowing vulnerability in safe, supportive relationships can gradually reduce avoidant behaviors and promote closeness. Finally, let's look at disorganized attachment. This attachment style often forms in environments where caregivers are unpredictable, frightening, or abusive. These children experience a confusing mix of wanting closeness but also fearing it. They may feel conflicted, seeking comfort while being afraid of the very person they turn to. As adults, those with disorganized attachment may struggle with trust, have intense emotional highs and lows, and experience difficulties in relationships. They may unconsciously recreate chaotic relationship patterns because they're familiar, even if they're painful. While disorganized attachment presents unique challenges, healing is possible through self-awareness, therapy, and supportive relationships. By working through past traumas and learning new ways of relating, individuals with disorganized attachment can move toward healthier patterns and a greater sense of security. Let's talk about how attachment styles affect adult relationships. The attachment style we develop as children influences our adult relationships, including romantic partnerships and friendships. Here's how: secure attachment. Adults with secure attachment are generally comfortable with intimacy, can openly communicate their feelings, and support their partner's needs without feeling threatened. They enjoy balanced, trusting relationships. Anxious attachment. Anxiously attached adults may seek constant validation, fear rejection, and feel emotionally overwhelmed when their partner seems distant. This can lead to insecurity and emotional highs and lows. Avoidant attachment. Those with avoidant attachment tend to pull away from closeness and may struggle to trust others. They may value independence to the extent that it creates emotional distance. Disorganized attachment. Adults with disorganized attachment often experience confusion and instability in relationships. They may have conflicting desires for closeness and distance, leading to intense or unpredictable relationship dynamics. Understanding these patterns can help us navigate relationships more effectively. With self-awareness, we can work to address any insecure attachment tendencies, leading to healthier, more stable connections. The good news is that attachment styles aren't fixed. With self-awareness, self-compassion, and the right support, it's possible to move toward a more secure attachment style. Here are a few ways: therapy and self-reflection. Therapy can provide tools for understanding and working through attachment-related issues. Talking with a therapist can help us process past experiences and develop healthier ways of connecting. Secure relationships. Building relationships with secure individuals can offer a safe space where we learn to trust and communicate effectively. These relationships can serve as a model for healthy attachment. Mindfulness and emotional regulation. Practicing mindfulness and emotional regulation techniques can help us respond rather than react to attachment triggers. This is especially useful for managing anxious or avoidant tendencies. Remember, understanding your attachment style is the first step in working toward change. Being patient with yourself and celebrating small progress along the way can lead to a more fulfilling, connected life. To wrap up, attachment theory provides us with valuable insights into how early childhood bonds shape our lives. From secure to anxious, avoidant, and disorganized, each attachment style reflects unique experiences and impacts how we approach relationships. Whether you're here to understand yourself or help your child develop a secure attachment, remember that knowledge is the first step toward positive change. Attachment isn't set in stone. With self-awareness, patience, and support, we can move toward more secure, fulfilling relationships. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to subscribe to Parenting with Purpose and hit the notification bell. And if you have any thoughts or experiences with attachment theory, feel free to share in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. Until next time, take care and keep nurturing healthy, happy relationships.